so much for tuning into the Muslim View. We are here at the Islamic Center of Southwestern Ontario. Collectively, we have come together to raise awareness about the Syrian refugee crisis. As you can see behind me, there's a mural of Aylan Kurdi, the infamous image that's been going around and making an international debut again, and hopefully we'll be able to raise awareness with our collective efforts today. Tune in and hopefully we'll talk about what we're doing today.
I would like to firstly acknowledge some of the community leaders that are here among us. Of course, we have Deputy Premier and London North Centre and MP Deb Matthews with us. We have Imam Jamaat Palim. We have Muslim Mosque. We also have representatives from the Muslim Resource Centre of Social Support and Integration, Dr. Mohammed Wahid and his team are here with me. Thank you for coming. We also have representatives from the London Muslim Mosque, the MAC, the Muslim Association of Canada, the London chapter, as well as from the Mayor's office and from different supporter church groups that are here with us. Thank you all for coming. We're here because we have a terrible crisis that is going on in the world. The plight of Syrian refugees is of deep concern to not only the Muslim community, but Canadians in general. Efforts have been mobilized to help the Syrian refugees, both to bring them here as refugees through Canada's very generous sponsorship program, but also to help the plight of the Syrians around the world who are refugees and who are migrants in camps and in Europe and around the world. So to that, we have Deputy Premier Deb Matthews who would like to make an announcement. On behalf of the Islamic Center, I would like to thank Premier Wynne, Deputy Premier Matthews, the provincial government, and Mayor Matt Brown and his office for the leadership. While there's a tremendous amount of goodwill on the ground, thanks has to be given to our leadership. I would also like to commend the federal government on creating over $100 million of matching sponsorship for Syrian relief. However, I do have to make one statement, and that Muslim communities across Canada are deeply concerned at the federal government's plan to select and prioritize refugees based on their religion. People of all faiths in Syria are equally victim to the atrocities in the region, with the largest number of victims and refugees displaced being Muslim. Prioritizing refugees based on religion violates the spirit of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and we would urge the federal government to equitably put to effect the goodwill of Canada and Canadians to bring all Syrian refugees that we can to Canada. I would like to bring your attention to the mural that's on the left of the hall. And this was a mural that was created by youth here in London, led by our dear sister Wajida Shams. Her group of youth came together in an effort to bring awareness and to raise money for the Syrian refugee plight. And so we received calls from the media asking us, where are we at? So where are we? We are now preparing applications for all of the organizations. We're waiting for more direction from the federal government. However, with the help of several immigration lawyers pro bono, we are preparing applications. So as soon as the doors to Canada are open, we will be ready with our applications in hand to be first in line to say, we in London, Ontario are ready to accept 5, 10, 15, 20 families, and fundraising efforts will continue. It was noted in London Free Press that once we have clear direction as to how many families we can bring, fundraising will happen. I know just from the 3 Islamic organizations, $200,000 to $300,000, and if matched, turn it to $600,000 will be readily available to put to good use immediately.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we will speak with Deputy Premier Deb Matthews. Welcome back to the Muslim View. Now we're just going to talk with Deputy Premier Deb Matthews.
I am so happy to be here with you, people who have shown us what Canadians do and what Canadians are. You have worked so hard. You have opened your hearts. And you have been showing true leadership in your response to a humanitarian crisis that is so horrific and is truly impossible to imagine. And I want to stand with you I want to say thank you. I want to say you inspire me, and you encourage me to do more. Canada has a long history of welcoming people from corners of the world where there is strife. In the 50s, Hungarians came by the thousand. In the 60s, people from Czechoslovakia came by the thousand. In the 70s, a wave of immigrants came from Africa. Not suggesting for a moment that our history when it comes to welcoming immigrants is perfect. It is far from perfect. Too many have been turned away. Too many have not been welcomed. But in the end, Canadians do what Canadians do best, and that is we welcome people. We give them a new home. We provide a place, the right supports to get established, employment, opportunities, and every single time, each wave of immigrants prove themselves to be enormous contributors to our economy, to our cultural fabric, to our education systems, to our research institutions. Every wave of immigrants, if given the opportunity, has proven themselves to be enormous contributors to Canada. So we now have another crisis, and where's Miriam? Miriam brought this issue to me years ago. Others have brought the issue to me, but one photograph has mobilized everyone. You know, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. That picture is worth a lot more than 1,000 words. But what it did is it galvanized, it made us realize that who would ever put their baby in that kind of danger? Who would ever put their baby in that boat unless that boat was safer than what they were in? That's how horrible the situation is. That loving parents would put their child at risk. So here we are in London, Ontario. We slept in comfortable beds last night. We had all the food we need, and then probably some. We are warm. We have everything. And there are millions of people who would give anything to have a fraction of what we have. So Canadians have responded to this. And I am very, very pleased that yesterday our Premier Kathleen Wynne made a very important announcement that the Ontario government is standing with you and has committed $10.5 million to support refugees abroad, $2 million abroad, and $8.5 million here. That money will go to support those who are already here, working to bring loved ones and strangers here, and it will go to support those refugees when they arrive on our shores. I want to say, you are the people who are, as I said, you are leading the way. You're way ahead of government. But I have to say, you have inspired government. I also need to say that humanitarian aid abroad will go regardless and immediately. The number of refugees we can support, and we are hoping there will be 10,000 refugees coming to Ontario. And we are hoping a minimum of 2,500 will come to Ontario before the end of the year. That is our hope. We cannot do that job unless the federal government changes the way in which they process refugees. So I'm not here to be partisan, but I am here to join in the chorus of people who are saying to the federal government, sometimes you just have to act. This is a global, humanitarian, urgent situation. I don't know if you've seen John Davidson's Red Tape Challenge. If you haven't seen that, check out John Davidson. He's just cutting the red tape. We need to cut the red tape. Retired General Hilliard says we can take thousands, 500,000, I think he said, before the end of the year, just by focusing on those who pose no security risk at all. So, I want to just close by saying thank you for what you are doing. I look forward to seeing the fruits of your work and our work. We will prove that we are Canadian in the very best. Thank you.
All right, and we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in about 1 minute. Welcome back to the Muslim View. Let's talk a little bit about the mural behind me. This image obviously is now ingrained in the minds of people all over the world, and it has struck a reaction, it has struck a response. And through art and expression, people are going around and coming together and bonding to really feel the pain with the Syrian refugees. So I encourage you to definitely get together, come together and form a group, get involved, educate yourself. You know, we're definitely lucky to be in a situation where we do have the power to help people and educate ourselves a little bit about the migration problem going around, the refugee migration problem.
Office and the rest of our community. We are proud of all of you for the hard work that Alan Kirby opened our eyes to. Alan, with this picture that we see it all, that his face turned into the sand, that his face was in the sand as he was telling the world that it's shame that I'm dying on this way, that I can have safe home and I can live with my family. Denial to enter Canada, this was not the Canadian tradition. We were peacemaker and we were helping everywhere as a Canadian. And we, through the help of the Deputy Premier now, we're turning back to our tradition, to our customs as a Canadian, to help people who are less fortunate, who need help. More than Alan Kurdi's. Alan Kurdi is one from many. 4 years in the tragedy of Syria brought many people who are homeless. They don't have food to eat, no clean water. They're living in misery. And alhamdulillah, we thank God that Alan Kurdi and Ghalib Kurdi and Farhana opened our eyes today for such an activities and initiative. I would like to also thank the mayor office for I heard that the 41,000 was collected so far from the efforts was done through the mayor office and the Islamic Center and many churches, synagogue. Churches come together, synagogue and mosque, Islamic centers come together for this important initiative. And we all will have one hand to save as many families we can. Thank you very much.
I'm here with Deputy Premier Deb Matthews. Thank you so much for being here.
It is a real pleasure to be here today.
And you, earlier in your address, you talked a little bit about the numbers and statistics that we're welcoming into Ontario. If you could just speak a little bit more about that.
Yes, we are hoping that we will be able to welcome 10,000 refugees from Syria by the end of next year. What we would like is 2,500 between now and the new year in the next few months, and then an additional 7,500 next year. We know that we have room, and we have people who are opening their hearts, opening their homes to refugees to help them get established here and get settled here, and then begin to contribute back to Canada.
Now, I know the recent statistics as of 2011, I think Canada increased that to about 10% welcoming in refugees. Now, hopefully we're working toward raising that. And is there anything else that, we can add to that in terms of being educated on the refugees and welcome to Canada?
That is entirely under federal government jurisdiction. So all we can do is put pressure on the federal government to tell them we demand of our political leadership that they respond to this humanitarian crisis of enormous proportion. Canadians expect their government to respond. That's what Canadians do. We have a long history of doing that, and it is time.
And as a form of response, it's again, I was saying earlier, unfortunate that a picture that you see behind us of Aylan Kurdi had to be the landmark for people to move and take action. Now, it's an image that's, I guess, seared in the minds of people all over the world, and hopefully it is something that will move people to come together and raise money.
Yes, for years, people have been trying to raise this issue. And it is that photograph that was a real catalyst, and it has moved people to be part of the solution. June Callwood once said, once you are witness to an injustice, you are no longer an observer. You are a participant, and you have to choose how you're going to participate. And what's happened is Canadians have chosen to participate by bringing refugees here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, so we're just going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit with MP candidate for London Fanshawe, Khalil Ramal. Welcome back to the Muslim View. Now we're going to talk with MP candidate for London Fanshawe, Khalil Ramal. I'm here with Khalil Ramal, MP candidate of London Fanshawe. Thank you so much for being here.
So thank you very much. Thank you. I'm honored and privileged to be among many leaders in this community. Came together to listen to the announcement, and I believe we had an incredible announcement. And I want to thank Minister Deb Matthew, Deputy Premier Deb Matthew, for this announcement, and the provincial government for coming to support the Syrian refugee who are supposed to be coming to Canada, especially London, Ontario.
Absolutely. Now, in terms of the mural of Aylan Kurdi that we have hung up today, what response do you think this image has, done for maybe the world or London specifically?
I think the image of Aylan moved the whole planet, and give the crisis in Syria more attention internationally and locally. And as you see, all Europe open the doors for refugees to come and be supported. And also Canada, also now especially this week, opened the debate among all the candidates from different parties, from the Conservative, the NDP, to the Liberal, to the Green Party, to put a solution to the refugee crisis, Syrian refugee crisis. And I go back again to the issue. It's great, and our obligation and duty to support the refugees. But I hope our government and the international community focus on the source of the issues of Syrian, and instead empty Syria from the people, and focus on helping to solve the issues in Syria. And as Canadian, we've always been open for many refugees through our history of Canada. And as you know, Canada is a nation of multiculturalism, invite people from everywhere on the planet, and we have a huge land. We can host many people. So, and I see the communities coming together, churches, mosques, synagogues, Islamic centers, all coming together to welcome the refugee, to give the support. And also I appreciate Mayor Matt Brown for his position to bring all the people together and then open the door for Syrian refugee to come to London and with all the support they need.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm here with Mariam Hamou, the North American Media Director, and she's actually been working with the Syrian refugee crisis for about 4 years, so since it started in 2011. Thank you so much for being here, Mariam. And, what initiatives have you been taking ever since, this has started?
Well, I've been working with the Syrian Coalition. We're based out of Turkey. We're a non-government organization, and we're actually the opposition. So it's more of a political thing. And our issue is that if you remove the current government from Syria, then you wouldn't have these refugees. We know right now that the majority of the the people are leaving. 90% of them are leaving because of Assad's, Assad's barrel bombs, and so we say, get rid of the regime, then you won't have the refugee situation.
Okay, so, and I don't talk a little bit about the Alan Kurdi image that we have behind us here. Now, when you came in, I remember you saw it and it struck you and you said, finally, we have something like this. So an image like this, obviously, it's obviously ingrained in the minds of people all over the world. What did you mean by that, and what can you say about what you meant?
Well, I feel like I've been running in circles for about 4 years now. Well, 4.5 years now. And when Ilan Kurdi's picture came up on my social media about, 100 times that day, at night I sat down, started to cry, and my husband was like, "Are you okay?" And I said to him, "I'm okay, but these are happy tears because I feel like finally the world has noticed." And I felt like before that it was I just didn't know. I was going in circles, so just going nowhere.
Absolutely. And an image like this, it is unfortunate that because of this image, people have gotten together, but we could see it as a positive thing where it's now an iconic image internationally where people are coming together. Now, specifically in London, as the group I explained earlier, we came together to do this. I encourage, like I was saying earlier, for groups to come together and create, art or the cause specifically we're doing today. Now, can you talk a little bit about the Syrian Refugee Fund .ca and how people can donate?
Sure. Right now we have a Libro account where you can donate at all 5 different branches. You can also donate online. You can use your credit card. Syrian Refugee Fund.ca, and you can donate right if you click the donate button. We also have other types of donations. There's in-kind donations, and there are in-kind donations where you donate services, but also if you'd like to house a refugee family, you just let us know in the section where you put comments in.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you so much for tuning into The Muslim View. Again, if you want to help out in raising awareness or raising charity for the Syrian refugees, you can go to www.syrianrefugeefund.ca, and you can read more about it and educate yourself on the types of organizations that are behind the process of welcoming them into London specifically. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time.